What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to PlayStation Generation episode 21. My name's Matt, and I'll be your host for today's events. Before we get into the wonderful rigmarole of announcing, of talking to the other hosts and getting into some stuff, I gotta tell you guys about something pretty cool, because this month we are giving away 5 pairs of tickets to the Canadian National Exhibition here in Toronto. We're also giving away an MSI Prestige 16 laptop Evo Edition powered by the Intel Core Ultra. We also have a grand prize of an Intel Core i9 14900K CPU. In case you didn't know, Intel is returning to host the annual Intel Gaming Garage at the CNE. This is your chance to get a close look at some of the incredible desktops and gaming laptops powered by Intel's chips, and we want you to get the chance to see it yourself. By winning, you and a friend or family member can spend the day at the CNE, cruise through the Intel Gaming Garage, and maybe grab a deep-fried Oreo on your way out. To enter, head over to @ConsoleCreatures on X or Instagram for more details on how to win each giveaway. And for those not located in the GTA, you'll still have a chance to win the i9 and MSI laptop as well. A big thanks to Intel for providing these prizes. We'll be at the Intel Gaming Garage, so be sure to check out our coverage of the event in the coming episodes. So make sure you head over to Console Creatures, check out how you can win some cool PC Intel prizes. So go check that out. Now, back to regularly scheduled programming. I'm joined, as always, by the great one himself, Mr. Court Lalonde. What's up, Gyart? Welcome back.
Wow, that was weird. You just changed my name there. It was a little different. Well, I'll take it. Whatever. I'll take it. Yeah, it was just. It was like Rice's kid said my name there for no reason.
Yeah, that's what it was. How was your vacation? We missed you last week. How was your vacay?
Well, you know, I did miss an awesome. I missed some things while I was gone. I got to catch your guys' show the next day. I got to watch a little bit. I thought you guys did great. I appreciate everything, but I don't know. I had that job interview, and I still don't know whether I got it or not. So I spent the whole week stressing. I tried. I did drink a lot, which probably didn't help the situation. But you know, the family had a great time. It was good to get away. We do this every single year. We go to the same spot, so it was great.
I'm glad you enjoyed hanging out at the Tim Hortons in Barrie, my dude. I'm really glad that that's where you just had to pitch a tent and hang out and just set up shop at that Timmy's. If you're not eating Timbits for every meal, then what kind of vacation are you having? Really? And of course, joined by the PlayStation Hokage himself, Mr. Rice. Boy, what's up, Rice?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? How's everybody doing? Thank you so much.
I'm doing all right, man. How you doing?
Yeah, doing well, man. Last week was a whirlwind of just families stuffs.
Yeah.
On the weekend, niece had her last game of the season. She pitched the whole game and absolutely killed it. We won. It was like an amazing kind of thing to watch with the kiddo. Lost my voice a little bit, but got it back before the podcast, thankfully. So want to be blessing people with these. Never mind.
These sexy, sultry tones.
He wants to wait till like Thursday and Wednesday, Friday of this week, just to be whispering sweet nothings into our ears.
Yeah, listen, we all know if Rice gets us too excited early on in the week, we're just done for the rest of the week. We might as well just write it off, go to bed, get up again next Monday, and try all over again.
I hope you have a towel for this episode.
I'm in a kiddie pool.
We should just do a live episode this weekend.
That would be hilarious.
Let's do a live episode. Just set up shop in front of.
Well, hold on. For later on in the week, do you have a setup pretty much the whole time at your place, your booth where you are? Could we just impromptu just do a podcast?
No. Okay. you mean like mics and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, just like the loud.
We can just yell real loud the entire time. I'm sure that'll be great for
while you're like playing on you're playing like computer games, which is like, hey.
Incredible. On this week's show, we're going to talk about Plucky Squire. We're going to talk about some Madden. We're going to talk some Silent Hill. We're going to talk more Xbox coming to PlayStation. We're going to talk about Dragon Age and a whole lot more. So stay strapped for today's events, because we are in for one heck of a show. But before we do all that,
I have a funny feeling that Rice is a kinkmeister, because like anytime there's any sexual innuendo that's on this show, he doubles down.
Man, I am like, and like, I tame it down so much. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll experience some of that IRL. Yeah, get some hard. I mean,
Rice OnlyFans. That's what's happening.
Yeah. It's
Rice,
all my
rice only boys.
all feet pics.
All feet pics.
Covered in various types of rice.
As they need to be.
Mm.
Have you never
probably do
stopped by
very well.
Rice's? Have you never stopped by Rice's like after hours streams? Like all those posters come down. It's just a dungeon down there, dude. Like the black latex, the masks.
Oh yeah, it's a different location
It's
too.
hot.
It's a different location. There's not as many lights, just one red one, and that one comes on when the oh man.
When the master
Okay.
says so.
Yeah, exactly. When
Yeah.
the safe word is said.
And the safe word is always mango.
No. The safe word is more.
Denny in the chat, 50 Shades of Rice. I like that a lot. I like that a lot.
All right, it's already derailed.
Here we go. Court. What's you been playing lately? I know you know what? Actually, I'm gonna save you for last.
Yeah, because
Rice,
what
you
I'm
been
playing is
lately?
my review. Yeah.
Yeah. I've been having a ton of fun web swinging with the kiddo. We jumped into Spider-Man 2. He asked me to read some comics. He saw, like, I have Marvel Unlimited on my phone, and he saw Spidey, and so we went and read some Spider-Man comics before going to bed, and so that's a pretty fun thing. So all things Spider-Man this past week for me and the kiddo.
So I have to ask, which comics did you dive into?
Matt is before you answer, say question. You know how Matt is very particular about Last of Us Part 1 versus Last of Us Part 2?
Sure.
He is more particular about his Spider-Man.
I respect that. It actually wasn't a Spider-Man issue. I'm currently reading the Secret Wars arc.
Okay, good.
Yes.
That is a good arc. I appreciate. No, Secret Wars.
Matt, you do need to remind me on Friday to
bring your
something.
comic. Yeah, bring the comic.
No, if you don't text me, dude. I have dad brain. I am not going to remember that.
Yeah, dad brain's so real.
Texting me today does nothing. Nothing. If you text me right now, that does nothing. Hey,
man, can you please bring...
I've had Matt's comic since last year at Fan Expo. Because we went to the booth on the Friday, and they didn't have any. And then when I went back on the Saturday, they had some. So I took a picture, and Matt's like, instead of taking a picture, why don't you grab one and give it to me?
Court, what time would you say would be appropriate to text you on Friday?
I get up at 6 o'clock, dude. Anytime after that.
Okay, so 6:01 a.m.
Matt's already on dad mode too. He's already up at that time.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm just scheduling the message, so I won't forget to do it later.
Because I know it is. It's literally right there. It's in a hard case. I'll even put it with a backing for you.
If we text at 6 a.m., that would be a good time to sync. You know,
it would be
because I'm awake.
Yeah. Hey. We all. Spoiler alert to what we're going to talk about later. This podcast will be together on Friday.
Yo. You know those pirate shanties that they start so low. I feel
so
like
low.
Yeah, exactly.
On the ocean.
I wanted nothing to do with this. I just let it go.
What are we on today?
In terms of what I've been playing, what the hell have I been playing? My mind just entirely went blank.
I literally put it in the agenda.
I know. You know what? Let's bring in the first story. We'll kind of pivot and jump around in a little bit, because the Plucky Squire is launching on September 17th. We have been eagerly awaiting this for quite some time, but it is finally launching on September 17th. And additionally, all PlayStation Plus subscribers on Extra and Premium will receive access to this on day one. Of course, PlayStation has been hyping this game up for a little while. We got our first taste of it at some. I think it was one of the State of Play or the showcases.
It was actually a Matt prediction way back on this other thing that we used to do. When this first came out, I was going to pre-order it when we first heard about it. And Matt goes, I have a feeling this is going to be a PlayStation Plus game, because he's like, they're putting a lot of PlayStation advertising into this game.
Right.
And it is a PlayStation Plus game.
I'm so stoked. Like, this is the kind of indie hit that like Game Pass would be known for grabbing. So I'm really glad that PlayStation came out swinging and was like, no. Day one on Plus. I've played the first 4 chapters of the game. My impressions, we have like there's a preview on But Why Though, and then on the YouTube channel, I made a video for that talking about it. It's really good. It is genuinely surprising. It keeps changing up what it's doing. The tone is hilarious. It takes everything from what you would expect from that type of game and is done so well. It is so charming. I think like one of my favorite parts was like you were moving through like the swamp area. You had to hop out of the book you needed a bow. Your friends were kidnapped by giant bugs, and like when you have the bow, and just like a shooting gallery type thing, you had to hop out of the book, scale this like castle on the outside, then you hop into what you basically have like a RPG Pokemon style fight against a Magic the Gathering style trading card, which you get the bow, and then you go back and you keep going. It keeps changing what it is, and it's really clever and it's really good. Go check out the full video on But Why Though. It's fantastic. I'm so happy this is coming to PlayStation Plus. I'm so stoked.
Question from the press pool.
Yeah.
Use one of your lines. Difficulty level, and can I play this with my daughter?
Yes and yes, easily. Easily.
Ooh, it looks way too cute as a game.
The combat is basically like 2D Zelda. Like it's not difficult. It's literally just swing and dodge. Like, and the enemies.
Oh, so it's like Cat Quest.
Exactly.
Okay.
It is, and from like the narrative standpoint, it's actually really cute because basically the villain of the game figures out that he's in a children's storybook, and that's why he always loses. So he tosses the squire out to try and like take over the story. And then your goal as the Plucky Squire is to like stop him, but it's also to stop him because the reader of the book is a child that wants to become like a cartoonist when he grows up. So you see like sketches of the Plucky Squire all over the room and stuff, and you're basically trying to keep the story the same so that kid can grow up and become like the cartoonist that he's kind of meant to be. It's really sweet, and like it's really, really clever and really well done. 100% a game for you and your daughter. Like, not a doubt in my mind.
Yeah, so excited.
Same for you and your son. Like, this is gonna be like, you may have to help them because even a couple of the puzzles had me scratching my head a little bit, but it's one of those things where it's like you just sit there and you think for a second and you'll figure it out. I'm also dumb. So when it comes to puzzles,
facts.
So like when it comes to puzzles, like I struggle. But it's really, really like straightforward.
It's so pretty.
It looks amazing. And I think this actually also goes into what we've been discussing for about 2.5 months here of PlayStation is gearing family friendly to PlayStation Plus.
Totally.
They are doing what, and it's kind of funny what you mentioned, how Xbox, this would have been a game that if you remember early on in the Xbox Series X start, you had like family friendly and awesome game. Like I'm not saying family friendly games aren't awesome, but like you had those games for everybody. Or
you had the E for E's, you had the T for T's, and you had the M for M's. Like,
and we kept saying for the longest time, Matt kept saying, well, when I'm a dad, it's going to matter to me, but like it doesn't really matter right now on PlayStation Plus. I feel PlayStation Plus is getting more variety, and they're making it so that anybody can want this and play it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. There's bangers. Like, and then again, that game is easily one of the biggest of the fall, in my opinion. I feel like it's that indie darling for this upcoming season.
Interesting. So like a Tunic.
Exactly. It's got a lot of hype behind it. So like to get this game and to throw it on Plus, it's a genius call. It's a genius call. I also played a game called Tribe 9. I hopped into the beta. My preview will be up on Constant Creatures later today. It's coming from the creators of Danganronpa, which is what drew me to it. And it's interesting. It's a gacha title that doesn't feel like a gacha title, and I don't know how it's going to feel once the entire game comes out, because it is so story focused in its opening hours that the gacha mechanics come in like 3 hours in, and you're kind of like, wait, what? So it's
like Avengers.
No.
No, I mean, like the gacha mechanics come in like later on, and you're like, what just happened? What
the live service stuff?
Yeah,
but the gacha stuff, like you start like rolling for characters and stuff. It's really at odds with itself, and if it can kind of marry those things together in an interesting way ahead of launch, like I think this could be cool. Very obviously going at like the Hoyoverse games, going after the Zenless Zone Zero players, the Genshin players. Very much feels like Danganronpa. Again, it's like, it's wild what happened, everything. So very, very quickly, you start the game in like an 8-bit style like RPG. And then there's like 16-bit characters that come to save you because you're actually trapped in this RPG. They bring you out. You're actually in like a post-apocalyptic world where there's a bunch of societies, basically like everybody on the surface is being like controlled by this one evil overlord called Zero, who has satellites all over the place. You confront him, you lose the fight. He kills some of your friends right in front of you, and then you go down to the surface and you get into a debate baseball game. to try and like win your freedom, where the baseball game is citywide, but the way that you play is picking the right dialogue options to satisfy the debates that are going on. And then after you lose there, you wake up on the surface and you have to continue to play in these games moving forward. But there's also action combat. It's so
Hold
all
on,
over the
you
place.
played a sports game?
Not on purpose.
I started like turning my head off when you were talking about dice rolls and all that. So I was like, then I hear
Not on
baseball.
purpose.
not on purpose that I play a sports game.
Okay, all right.
But and again, it's baseball, but it's like logic arguments. Like
Right.
it's not like timing or anything like that. You're trying to pick the right argument to
That
satisfy
sounds
the condition.
terrible.
It's interesting. It was actually pretty cool. So I'm really curious to see how this kind of continues and develops. But my preview will hit Constant Creatures later on today, so go check that out there. And then the other thing that I did, my brother and my nephew came over this weekend just to hang out, and we actually went and loaded up a bunch of old games onto the Steam Deck, and we like sat around playing like Naruto Clash of Ninja 2 from like the GameCube era, like Mario Party 6 again from the GameCube era, like a bunch of really old school stuff.
Wow.
Dude, Rice, I threw down with Rock Lee like I was in grade 4 all over again.
Oh man.
Opening those inner gates, throwing down.
Yes,
dude.
let's go.
Bro. It was a lot of fun. I love the Steam Deck. I genuinely think it may be one of, if not my favorite handheld, period. Like,
oh yeah, that's
straight up.
That's awesome. Love that.
But Court, I'm gonna pull in a little doozy here because what some of the things that you've been playing.
Yes. So while I was on
25.
vacation, thanks to the good people over EA, I've been playing Madden 25. So once again, shout out to PlayStation for their remote play working seamlessly. Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Seamlessly. I brought an iPad and a controller with me. For the audio listeners, sorry, I am holding up a DualSense. I brought that with me, and I was able to play this. First, I was able to download it onto my PlayStation at home, which is wired. So it was actually seconds. I could actually watch it like just downloading, and I'm like laughing because the internet I was using wasn't the best. But I was able to play this game and have zero issues. I had no lag. I did not suffer any issues with regards, and this is a sports game, right? Things are moving fast on the screen. I had zero issues playing this game, like none whatsoever. I played it every day while I was away. I had a friend of mine we were with other families. Like, what are you doing? I'm like, nothing. And I had to like literally take the iPad and like go in another room. My wife just started laughing. I was just like, are you kidding me? I'm like, no, like I can't show him what I'm playing right now. So real sorry, but I just can't.
That's awesome.
Well, he would have been like, hey, I want to play it. And that's,
yes,
that's against the rules. So I literally it was easier. I just picked the iPad up and was just like, close the thing and like walking in the room. But here's my synopsis of the game so far.
Okay.
Because I didn't feel doing a review when I got back on the Monday was justified when I'd only played about 5-6 hours of the game, because there's so much to Madden. I've been still playing it. There's so much to a Madden game. I always feel like whenever we put out reviews for these sports games, we kind of put them out too quickly, because there is so much. There's seasons. There's so much minutia to any sort of sports game. You'd actually be shocked, Matt. Like, I know you can compare it to, and I think Rice could agree with me, you can compare it to a 60 to 70 hour game to finish.
I don't doubt it in terms of like the level of like the modes and everything split across them. Like, I don't doubt that they're chunky games.
Tons of systems. But I want to put a caveat on this. I couldn't help but review this and compare it to College Football 25.
Right.
I didn't think it would even be fair to not do it that way. One, College Football 25 is a football game made by EA. The biggest difference is one is a college football game, one is an NFL game. But when you think about that, there's not much of a difference there, right? Like, even some of the players bleed over. They still haven't had it so you can input your player from college football to Madden, but that will be something that's coming down the road. I love College Football 25. In fact, I played it a couple of hours ago because I still think it's the better of the two. College Football 25, I mentioned it in my review that I did for it. It hits you with the hype. It makes you feel like an old style football game. Old style sports game. I think what has happened with this is they put a lot into College Football 25. They are definitely two different teams, but at the same time, I don't think there is much as the effort that was put into College Football 25 to be a success. I don't think the same effort was put into Madden 25. I
Mhm.
think there's a lot of great things that are put into Madden 25, but with any sports game, and this can happen a lot, it can feel like a roster update. The biggest changes they
Right.
put in there were the hit mechanics, which are amazing. So you can use the hit stick, which I don't really like using. It's interesting. In NHL, I'll use the skill stick, but in Madden, I don't know what it is. I don't know about you, Rice, because I know you play them too. I stick with the regular buttons. I don't know what it is.
Same.
I can't like they call it NHL 94 controls over on or hybrid controls on
Right.
hockey. But for Madden, I stick with changing it so that I remap the buttons. So I'm using the buttons to do the hits. But I
Nice.
will say this, the hitting in it is unbelievable. It is, you can grapple a guy down. It's more responsive. Like if a running back is trying to break the plane and they're coming through, if a guy hits him in his legs, he's going to fall that way. Instead of the old Madden games where like the hit was pretty much always in the midsection and it was just a tackle and you brought down. There is more to it where you can do the stiff arm, you can do the spin, you can do the juke, and where your defensive player is hitting the offensive player, that matters.
Right.
So they've done a phenomenal job of that. I feel it's very responsive. It feels like I'm watching a real life NFL game. The presentation during the game, top notch. It feels reminiscent of OG Fox Sports. Remember when Fox Sports used to have like the robots going across the screen? It
Yes.
feels very much like that. I was
Cool.
actually trying to put that in my in my preview, and Bobby put in notes like not understanding what I was talking about. And I was like, totally get it. I'm trying to do a visual, something with the written, and I'm talking about something that not everybody would know about. But yes, in the old school Fox Sunday sports NFL, they would have these robots go across the screen. It's very much like that, like like that's what you feel like while watching the game.
Mhm.
I just felt when you first turn on the game, there was no hype at all. Like when you turn on an EA Sports game, they usually hit you with the hype. They hit you with these trailers, all that. It was just EA Sports in the game, and boom, you're at the menu. And I'm like, ooh.
So I have a question because I feel like I saw this kind of sentiment online as well. Where is the marketing behind this game? Because I didn't even know that it was coming out. And secondary question,
Hmm.
is it the same? Is it EA that dropped college football and Madden? Is it the same company releasing both? Why would they put them a month apart?
Two answers for you. Yes, it's the same company. 100%. College football and football, no matter what, when they used to come out back in 2014 was the last time we had them before, they always come out at the same time. They always come out a month and a half because that's literally, it's preseason football right now. It's preseason, it's called and university, everybody's
Right.
going back to school. So there's nothing you could do about that with regards to that. But I 100% with you regarding the advertising and everything. And I think, this is my opinion, everything went behind college football.
Because I even knew that college football was coming, and I'm not
Yeah,
plugged in.
I talked about it a lot.
No, but even outside of you, like I saw people online talking about it. I saw trailers. I saw people, on YouTube. Like I saw a lot of that game before it came out. So that way, I was like, oh, this is a big deal because I didn't even know Madden was out, imminent, whatever.
I would think it's even goes down to what you sent me the day I was allowed to put up my preview for my review storage for college football. Matt responded to me and was like, dude, I can't believe how many people are talking about this game on my timeline. Like everybody.
Yeah.
Madden previews came out on Monday and it was like a fart in the wind. Like Madden previews came out last I don't even. No one really it's interesting the zeitgeist and the information, especially since I feel right now with regards to EA Sports, you have college football now, which is back. That's huge. And then you have Madden, and then you have FIFA, and then like I love NHL, but I'll be the first to admit, like I care about NHL, and then like a whole country cares about NHL, and then maybe 25% of the United States cares about NHL. Otherwise, that doesn't take up. I think the issue right now that EA's got to try and figure out is with regards to marketing is you have college football, you have Madden, FIFA comes out in a couple weeks, right? Like that's going to take
Right.
over. I know Bobby loves FIFA. So like there is that whole advertising that they've got to figure out because for this Madden, I almost laughed about it because when you pre-ordered college football, you could pay a little bit extra and they would throw Madden in for free.
Really?
Yeah,
Like
like
a
you could
deluxe
get a
edition
comp.
kind of thing?
Yeah, you could get Madden put into
So
that
Interesting.
by buying. You had to pay like an absorbent amount of money,
Sure.
You could get Madden put in as an extra for your college football.
But here's a question. Okay, and I genuinely am asking this from a place of ignorance. Why can't they separate these two games out more? Like, why not put college football in like February, March, and then leave the Madden in the
Because the
August?
season's already started for the football, like for football. The season's already started.
But okay, but why does that matter?
For a sports person, it matters big time. You can't bring out I'll give you a perfect example. Right now, the NHL preseason training camp opens in 2 weeks. So the EA is smart to release the game for NHL during that time because the hype is never bigger. Besides the Stanley Cup Finals, the hype isn't bigger. Like Madden, I'm sure gets sales and surges of sales leading up to Super Bowl. I guarantee people buy it just because of the Super Bowl hype. The hype, and Matt, you love hype, right?
I love hype.
The hype would be gone. So dropping it in March is like it wouldn't make any sense. One, the season's already started. So people want to, I'll give you a perfect example. In Madden and college football, you can do real-time games. So you can play along. I'm a Bills fan.
Okay.
I'm going to wait. So the first Bills game on the Sunday, in my Madden, I'm going to play that game.
Yeah.
And you get to play that game.
Okay.
And that's how you play your season. And
so there is value in it running concurrently.
Right.
Okay.
There's a lot of value, especially because sales-wise. You're not going to get the amount of sales if you released it later on. It wouldn't make any sense. It just wouldn't make sense.
And the culture backs that.
Especially in sports. Like huge. And so other things that were great about it, I felt the menu screen for the first time ever did not look ugly and confusing. And for some reason, a lot of sports games, the menu screens, they're very clunky and they're slow and the response time is terrible. In Madden, it's unbelievable. It's just like click, 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 boom. Like it's like they got rid of whatever bug was there that when you click on, I want to play now, or I want to do Ultimate Team, it goes right into it. Like it's almost like finally they're doing a next gen version, even though we know there's a version on the PS4. It's very snappy. They do have videos in there. This is what drives me crazy. They have hype videos in the menu screen. Give me the hype video when I first turn it on. EA Sports does a phenomenal job, usually, of when you turn on the game, they give you this hype when you first time you play it. And you can fast forward through it the next time or just even turn it off. But they give you like an old school highlight package that gets you hyped to play the game. They did it for college football and it was unbelievable. But for Madden, nothing. The gameplay of Madden, it feels a lot like Madden 24. It doesn't feel much different besides the hitting. Ultimate Team, for the first time in a long time, the cards look so boring and terrible. And like, I'm a huge card collector, and for sports games, adding that into the game, it's great. But for some reason in Madden, they almost look like they're straight out of like the Matrix from the 90s. Like, I don't understand. Like, what are they doing? Like, it's just very weird choices that they made with Ultimate Team, and it looks very boring. And I hope that's not a precursor to what they're going to do with FIFA and NHL, because I would be very upset. So, and I'm not playing as much Ultimate Team as I usually do. I'm playing more season and started my own franchise with the Bills because the Ultimate Team feels boring. Even though they do reward you for the offline players, their Ultimate Team feels very boring. It doesn't feel like I care. Like even when they throw in Legends, the card art just looks terrible. So if you're going to buy one football game, get college football. Don't get that. That's my review. Like that's get college football. It's the better game.
I'm really curious to see what the sales are going to look like come year end, with these two launching A so close together and B, like, kind of owning the same share of the market. I'm really curious. I'm sure because college football sold incredibly because
number one selling it be FIFA, right? Like
because it was the return of college football.
FC. We don't call FIFA anymore.
Right. We don't call it FIFA anymore. But yeah,
well, I will say this: Madden is like Call of Duty. People are going to buy it no matter what. It's just that game, dude. It's going to get purchased. I just think that they put more towards college football. It shows in the advertising. It shows that even you, who doesn't play sports games, you knew about college football and you had no clue about Madden.
Denny in the chat, I remember the NCAA variants were also the cheaper version. Is that still the case this year? Is college football cheaper than Madden?
No.
Okay. There you go.
That is EA don't do that no more.
EA don't do that.
In fact, like I said, you can get the bundle and put them two together.
Right.
But if you want a football game, college football and wait to play Madden on EA Play.
There you go. Let's keep this straight. Oh, I forgot to mention something real quick. I played Splitgate 2. It's awesome. More of that also on But Why Though. Feels great. They've done a lot to kind of revamp it.
Wait,
And add-ons.
Splitgate?
Splitgate, dude. Splitgate 2.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They've added like these factions where they're closer to like battlefield classes than they are like like heroes from a hero shooter, where it's just like they all augment a little bit the way that the game is played.
Right.
They have different abilities and stuff, but it's really fun. Go check that out about why those well.
Sick.
Let's hop into our first story proper, because coming from Windows Central, written by Jez Corden, rumor another big Xbox game is heading to PS5 to be announced next week. This was published on the 14th, so expect that announcement this week. Another Xbox game is coming to PlayStation. If the latest round of rumors is to be believed, earlier in the year, Microsoft torched its earlier promises to players that it would build permanently exclusive games for Xbox by initiating ports of its games to competing arch console rival PlayStation. It has led to ongoing doubt about Microsoft's commitment to the future of the Xbox platform and its users. Basically, going on that Shinobi.
Hold on, can we laugh about how the Xbox centric person Jez Corden kind of was being a bit of a crybaby with using the word torched? Like, wow. Like, they're very upset in Xbox land right now. They're very upset.
A little vindictive. Shinobi 602 basically went on and said, responding to a comment on not Xbox era, saying, "What are you doing next week?" In response to a comment saying, "I wonder when the next round of ported games are coming." Gamescom is tomorrow.
Yep.
So I anticipate that announcement will be coming down the pipeline at Gamescom. Xbox is supposed to be there. They're supposed to have a decent presence. So I'm imagining that we're going to be finding out more imminently.
And they need pre-orders. Like, let's be honest here. They need people to start pre-ordering this game on PS5.
Well, a lot of rumors as to what it is. Some people are saying it's Indiana Jones. Some people are saying it's Forza Horizon. Some people are saying it's Flight Simulator.
Well, I would say the people in the know are really pushing Indiana Jones.
Are they? Because they were really pushing Forza Horizon 5.
That would be crazy.
I've seen a lot of conflicting reports from a lot of these bigger people talking about Forza, talking about Flight Simulator, and talking about Indiana Jones.
I wouldn't be surprised, and I'm going to say it now, all of them.
It's entirely possible. It's entirely possible that they start talking about all of these. Because like Forza is something that they can launch pretty quickly in the next month or two, I would imagine.
But Indiana Jones, we know, is coming.
Do you think they're going to announce that it's day and date?
Yes, 100%. It was rumored when they originally were going to do their last thing that it was going to get announced, and then it didn't. But if everybody noticed in all the ads for everything about it, it didn't say it was Xbox exclusive anymore. It just said it was coming to Xbox. So that made me laugh. Like, all exclusivity of the words were gone. And whenever they were interviewed about it, when we had the last Xbox showcase, they all danced around it only coming to Xbox. All they just kept saying is it's day and date on Game Pass. That's the only thing they kept saying over and over and over again. And I, to be honest, think it is very smart for them. After the failure of Starfield, and that's what it was, let's be honest, the game would have done better if it was on all consoles. It is proven time after time. And this is not console warring. This is just straight math.
Mm-hmm.
It sells better on PlayStation because there's a bigger install base. It is what it is. There's a bigger install base. Call of Duty sells more on PlayStation. FIFA, the biggest games you have as a staple to look at are FIFA and Call of Duty that come out every year. Where do they sell more? They sell more on PlayStation. So if you're Xbox and you made this huge investment, where are you going to put your games?
I don't disagree. Right. So where are you at? Is it Indiana Jones? What are you thinking?
The only reason why I reacted to Forza is because GT has Gran Turismo has such a big fan base.
Good point.
And I think that
Horizon and GT.
Yeah, they're very different. I mean, if they were to put like Motorsport on there, there may be some decent comparisons. But all this to say, like, I think that the racing gamer community would appreciate it more than not, because like you're getting more options on PlayStation to play racing games. So that would be huge. I mean, selfishly, I would be like super excited about Forza. Indiana Jones makes sense to me. And I think that Flight Simulator is just I don't know. I don't think I have enough stock in Flight Simulator to really have an opinion on that. But at the same time, people love that game. And so all of those things would be really, really good for the PlayStation player base. So
I just don't think the sales would on Flight Simulator. They wouldn't get as much as they want. I feel like that to me still to this day is a PC game.
Yeah.
It's better on
Agreed.
PC.
Yeah, I would agree.
I think
Agreed.
it'll be a lot like, Hi-Fi Rush, that if it would have launched on PlayStation to begin with, we would have seen different numbers. And
Sure.
also, like, I wasn't here last week. That's awesome that, we're gonna get another one of those games.
Mhm.
That's freaking amazing.
Yes.
But I just think it makes too much sense. I'm not gonna go down the minutia of Gears of War and Halo. We're not there yet. Like,
No.
we're definitely not there yet. But Indiana Jones and all the Bethesda, they make way too much sense, especially when the people from Bethesda, like, it's known that they wanted their games on PlayStation. We know there's a Starfield PlayStation version that easily just flip the switch. It's there.
See,
Right.
I'm really, really curious, Court, if you're right, because then this sets the precedent that moving forward, Xbox games can launch day and date simultaneously. I don't know if they're going to go that far yet.
Mm.
I think that could be the
We already
plan.
know they are. Call of Duty is.
I wouldn't
And for
count
the
Call.
foreseeable future.
Sure, but Call of Duty I think is a very specific outlier.
Why?
I because even coming into it, even getting that game up, that whole deal approved, they had to be like, no, we'll keep Call of Duty. We're sorry.
Okay, but they also said like the next Doom, all those games, they're all going to be coming to both consoles. So the precedent is technically there. They're already willing to do it. Why are they nitpicking? Why are they like, these games are going to come, but these games aren't?
Was
Interesting.
Doom the Dark Ages confirmed for PlayStation? Yes, it
not-
was. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay,
So
then
this
maybe
is why I'm saying, why are they
forget me
why,
then.
Why? Let's not forget you. Like, it totally makes sense because they didn't with Starfield. Even though I think we can all agree Starfield is coming this holiday. Like,
Yeah.
Could the announcement be Starfield?
You know what? It could be Starfield. It would
Yeah.
be
Here's
an
my
easier
question.
one.
Do you
It's
think we're
easier.
getting a single announcement, or
No.
like they did last time?
I think we're getting
four
multiple.
out the gate.
Right.
I think we're getting multiple.
Mhm.
I think they were putting out the feelers. Sea of Thieves did phenomenal.
Mhm.
Right.
The other games, Pentiment, not a shocker to me because I didn't think the game was any good.
It's a niche game to begin with.
100%. But for some reason, when it came out on Xbox, everybody wanted to say it's game of the year when they were
was
just
really
only
good.
saying it
was
wasn't game
really
of the year. It being really good and being game of the year are two separate things.
Agreed.
Sure.
And that was like the person we just read his article. He was like, it's game of the year. I'm like, oh my God, please stop. Like, come on now. Game of the year should be like, anyways, we can get to that. But I think if this is just my opinion, if Xbox is going to succeed in the future, they're going to need their games, not just on PlayStation. They're going to need their games on Nintendo.
Yeah.
Because otherwise this big investment is going to look bad on them.
I think
they're going to lose money.
I think Nintendo's 100% a lock. I don't doubt that for a second. They've been palling around for the last couple of years, and PlayStation was the awkward outlier sitting under the tree while the other kids were at the playground.
But they're not anymore, right? They're not the awkward outlier.
Not anymore. That's what I'm saying. So I think Nintendo probably has been and will continue to be a lock through the next generation of hardware. But I you know what? You may have convinced me on Indiana Jones. I think maybe you're onto something too. Maybe because Shinobi's thing, like Shinobi's response was to the question of when is the next round of ports, and he said, "What are you doing next week?" So there's no
He didn't say
singularity.
one game, yeah,
Exactly. There's
like
no
Jez
singularity.
Gordon's the one who goes Indiana Jones,
Yeah.
and Jeff Grubb goes Indiana Jones. But Jeff Grubb was the one like weeks before was like, I'm here in Horizon.
Right.
So that's what I mean. Things are a little all over the place. So I'm curious as to what ultimately will be announced. I hope it's multiple. Indiana Jones would be dope because that's where I play it. But like,
It just makes more sense for indie because and this is not a small game because Astrobot's going to be. It's going to be my game of the year, and I haven't even played it yet. Like, who are we kidding? But because Matt and I've been championing Astro, that's our whole
course.
identity is Astro. It's like when people talk about NAC, our identity is Astro. But it's PlayStation doesn't have any other big hitters, right? So why don't release Indiana Jones on the PlayStation and take that player base?
Right.
Just makes financial sense. And if they don't do it, honestly, ouch.
yeah. I'm curious. I'm very, very curious. Well, I mean, we'll talk about this more next week. Keep it locked to Console Creatures tomorrow.
Yes.
We'll have stuff going live as it gets announced. But we'll definitely revisit this next week.
Isn't it Gamescom in Germany? So isn't it like
2 p.m.
Oh, okay.
here? Because it's 7 p.m.
Oh yeah, because what Minus does is
German
11.
time.
It's like
Yeah.
Right.
Let's roll into our next story coming from VGC, written by Chris Scully. And Silent Hill 2 remake appears to be winning over fans based on YouTube response. The Silent Hill 2 remake appears to be winning over fans who may have been previously unconvinced by its quality. VGC analysis of trailer likes and dislikes on YouTube suggests now that the game, which has had a dividing opinion for a while, is building positive momentum just 7 weeks before its October 8th release. basically there's a new story trailer. There's a round of previews that went live earlier today as well. A lot of people were really down on this remake, myself included, and I still don't think it looks that. But
Right,
again,
Matt, I am right there with you. I saw Steve's
but
tweet and I was like, I'm gonna leave that one alone.
But what I will say is one of my best friends who's very into Silent Hill and has been very into Silent Hill since the games were launching back in the day, loves what they are seeing now.
Yeah.
They were not
Okay.
entirely sold yet. They're saying that the tone of the game is spot on. The voice acting is apparently right where it should be. I don't see it because I don't have the love for the franchise. And evidently what the picture it's trying to paint is not one I personally understand, but I am glad that at least it seems to be gaining momentum for folks that are fans, and maybe this will bring some new fans into the community. Because Silent Hill has been gone for a long time. I think it, alongside Resident Evil growing up, those were like the two horror franchises. So I would not be upset about
Sounds
a
like
proper
an art
Silent Hill
project
comeback.
instead, but continue.
I don't disagree. But I'm stoked that people are getting more excited about it, and I do hope it's good for them. I will not be playing it. I was also told that they now have separate difficulty sliders for like combat and puzzles, which I always appreciate because I always keep the puzzles on big dum dum mode. But I'm glad that feature exists. It's still not for me to play. It's not enough for me to play it, but I'm glad that it exists. Folks, are any one of you? I know you're not. Rice,
yeah, I put it in there just
for
because
you.
it's Silent Hill. I had to put it in there.
Yeah, I mean, I won't be playing this game unless I'm with a group of people that loves it. And like you say, like I've only heard about feedback from people who really love this, and like the love goes deep.
Yeah.
And from what I'm understanding, generally speaking, it's about the atmosphere, right? Like Silent Hill was atmospherically terrifying, and I believe that they are taking the right steps in that direction to emulate something a little more modern, but retain that eeriness that people felt all those years ago. That said, like I would definitely be peeing my pants playing this kind of game. So not gonna be a part of my canon, but I'm really happy for everyone that is enjoying the development of the remake.
Agreed. Let's pivot to what is most definitely a court game, because coming from console creatures ourselves, Dragon Age the Veilguard launches on October 31st. After teasing last month that BioWare had a release date in mind for Dragon Age the Veilguard, the developer announced that it is officially coming out on October 31st on Xbox, PlayStation 5, and PC. Evidently also already confirmed to run on Steam Deck, which I'm very curious and very excited to hear about.
This game is going to eat up a lot of my life.
Court, happy birthday.
It's like, seriously, like I get a game. My birthday's October 26th, so I always get a game. I think last year was Spider-Man. Yeah, Spider-Man was my birthday last year. Well, in the birthday
around
window.
there. Yes, yeah, you're right.
So same birth. I think it was the 22nd. Spider-Man came out last year.
Something like that.
I definitely around my birthday window, and now I get this game. I've been waiting for a Dragon Age game since Inquisition. The new trailer looks very much better. I am sold. I'm debating on whether to pre-order this game or not. I'm gonna shout out to Bobby here right now. I will do anything, dude. Just help me out. I want to play this game so badly. It's like, heck, I've been waiting for this game since the PlayStation 4. Like the beginning of the PlayStation 4. Like, I want this game. Like,
will you kill kittens though? Channing Tatum.
I will say this about Dragon Age. It is the one game where I usually go bad.
Ooh, that's fun. That's fun.
Because I find it's more interesting,
right,
if I decide that I don't want to be the good guy.
Court, I will tell you, I downloaded Inquisition. I haven't started it yet, but I did download it. Nope. PS5.
Okay. Oh,
apparently the Dragon Age games are spotty on deck because of the EA launcher.
That makes sense.
Doesn't play well with the Steam Deck, from what I understand. Or maybe Inquisition is an outlier, but I know a lot of the older ones don't get along. I'm not sure about Inquisition.
Inquisition is a very good game.
But I downloaded it, so maybe I'll try it.
I would put a caveat on it, but you play Persona games, so this shouldn't be an issue. There are parts that drag out near the end, but it's fine because it gets you somewhere where you're like, this is a good game. Like, A lot of people always talk about Mass Effect versus Dragon Age. I was always Dragon Age over Mass Effect. Always.
I don't know. I've always had trouble. I've played Mass Effect 1 and I've played through some of Mass Effect 2, but I played them during the like in the remasters. And I
Right.
tried to put them back to back, so I fell off Mass Effect 2. I enjoyed Mass Effect 1. I have a harder time connecting with Western RPGs. Just
Interesting.
period.
Well, this is just a whatever.
I know, but like Bethesda's games, I don't care for.
Yeah, but that has a lot to do with their gameplay. It's bad.
Sure, I don't disagree. I remember when Inquisition came out, I FOMO'd into it, and I think I played like 5 or 10 hours before ultimately just getting distracted by something else. And I cannot tell you a single thing, positive or negative, about it. I just fell
Didn't
off of it,
capture you.
which is why I own it, is because I bought it years ago and then it just never clicked.
Right.
Could have been a time and place thing, taste change and whatever. But I just have a harder time with Western RPGs. So I'm curious to see if this will grab me on my newest attempt. Rice, are you prepared to drag in all over that age?
This is one that I'll probably, because I loved Inquisition so much.
It's so good.
Like I may be a little bit reluctant to get my my hopes up. I did like what I've seen, like what I saw in the trailers, and I agree, Court. Like it's definitely ramped up. It's ramped up for me, but yeah, I think I'm gonna wait and see. But I will, given that it gets the traction that I think that it needs and the player base is satisfied. Yeah, 100%.
Now,
I'll
is your apprehension a lot to do with what happened with Andromeda? How Mass Effect
Yeah.
Andromeda was I pre-ordered. I got the super duper edition, and
Right.
that game pooped.
Yeah.
It
So
was a big poop.
I think maybe because Inquisition was really special. Like it was really special to me in the time that I played it, and perhaps a little bit of that is biased in terms of what I'm thinking.
What,
But
2015?
2014.
Yeah.
2014. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll double check that one.
And it also kind of like I didn't lean towards RPGs at the time, and Inquisition was an experience that I really leaned into, and so it was special in that way.
I honestly think, and this sounds even when like the next Witcher game comes out, it's gonna have such a hard, and I think that's Inquisition is one of those Dragon Age games where you're like, well, they did it. And I didn't think we were gonna get another one after, because I was like, well, they did it. This is really is it. And like Witcher 3, and they're like, oh, we're gonna make another Witcher game. And I'm like, well, I don't know. I'm gonna be disappointed no matter what. This sucks.
Yeah. And I thought it was peak then. So
Fair.
It's a hard one to top for me. So
I will
I'm a little reluctant. Yes, thank you.
I'm very rarely, it's up there with Assassin's Creed for me.
Sure.
This franchise.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I'm in no matter what.
Well, you're gonna have a very busy fall between Shadows and
yeah,
Star Wars, like it's NHL.
Yep. That's right. Star Wars. Oh man.
Star Wars is at least imminent. You got time.
Yeah.
Like, you got time in between that.
Star Wars it's made by Ubisoft. When I play Assassin's Creed games, I play it to platinum.
Yeah.
There is no other way to play a Ubisoft game. So now they're giving me a Star Wars Ubisoft game.
You'll be playing some.
Listen, we're eating well the next few months. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, man.
Star Wars into Astrobot into Metaphor for me. Hold on, I literally have a list. Star Wars into Astrobot, the Persona 3 Reload DLC, Demon School, Dragon Ball, Metaphor, AC Shadows. There's a lot.
Yeah, definitely AC Shadows and Astrobot for me on that list.
Yeah.
Such a short list for me.
Yeah, but neither one of those games are going to be.
I have FIFA and NHL to throw into mine. All the sports games as they keep going. I gotta play them. I gotta test them out.
You gotta test them out. Let's hop into one last quick story before we head over into questions, because coming from PlayStation Lifestyle, PS1 Classics get trophies a year after the PS Premium launch. This is coming from Zarmina Khan. Another third-party PS1 game is joining the PS Plus Premium Classics with trophies following a patch over the weekend. 1997's Herc's Adventures joined the Premium catalog over a year ago and is still part of the subscription. It is also available for standalone purchase. But they began to release trophy patches for third-party games in June. Since then, 9 more games have received the patches, including Herc's Adventures, and that's Tomb Raider Legends, Star Wars Clone Wars, Toy Story 2, Toy Story 3, Alone in the Dark, Oddworld, Summoner, Thrillville, and Herc's Adventures, but just more third-party stuff. on premium getting that trophy love.
Which is interesting because when wow, I can't even like remember what they used to be called, the PlayStation streaming service. Why is my brain doesn't even
Now?
work anymore? PlayStation Now.
Mm.
They had the
Right.
Toy Story games, and I played them with my daughter, and the trophies
Mhm.
worked. So it's interesting when I saw them on the
Oh.
list and they didn't work on. I was like, huh, they worked on PlayStation Now, but they didn't work on this.
Oh,
Well,
interesting.
there you go. Now they work. And one last quick thing: we'll be at Fan
I
Expo
already
this
have them all.
weekend. We talked
Oh,
about it
yes.
at the top of the show, but we'll be there this weekend. If you see us and you want to say hi, please do so. Court really loves it when people just jump on him out of nowhere.
And
Was
touch
one
his
of his-
hair.
yeah, one of his most favorite things.
Dude, I am going to. I'll say this. He can joke about it all he wants. If you see me on Friday, I'll be with my kid.
Don't do it in front of his kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, no.
Thursday he'll be alone. Strike
You
that.
don't want to see angry me, and I will have zero issue being angry in front of my child if you do anything inappropriate in front of my kid.
Absolutely.
Don't do it in front of the kid is no go. On Thursday though, he will be alone.
And I won't be there on Saturday or Sunday. I will
send everybody his location as he moves on Thursday. Attack when you need to. Friday's fine. Friday's off limits.
Friday's the day. Friday's the day.
Friday's the day that the court's safe. But no, we'll be there. If you see us, come say hi. We're very excited to go down and check out what's going on in that wonderful world of the Fan Expo.
Word.
Let's round out with some questions and let's kick things off. With Chris Zazer coming in saying, in honor of, by the way, Chris, fantastic question last week. That was some heat.
Amazing question.
And he might just have a follow-up this week.
Yeah, but
In
we're
honor
going
of-
to see him on the weekend.
I know. In
We
honor
better.
of hashtag Alien Romulus hitting theaters, which 3 PlayStation characters would you pick to explore a derelict space vessel unknowingly infested with xenomorphs? And which of your party would be most likely to find themselves on the receiving end of a facehugger encounter? So you need 3 PlayStation characters that you're going on a spaceship with, and which one of them would die?
Well, I think it would be easy to pick anybody from the Uncharted series just because they're already adventurers. So I'm gonna take a cop out here, and I'm gonna take Drake and Sully, and Sully will be the first one to die just because he's the old man. But for fun, I would definitely have Ratchet in there because I find he would be very useful as he is an alien, and 2, he has crazy weapons.
That's a good answer.
Ratchet's a good answer. I think
Drake
for
is
me-
just his comedy relief. Like, who are we kidding? When Sully dies, he'll be funny. Let's be honest. See? All right.
I think for me, I think I'd have to bring Kratos. I think Kratos is just going to be, though I would be a little bit worried that he might mess up the spaceship that we're on. I think it would
Yes.
be a risk I would have to take.
Yeah, but
he
as soon
wouldn't
as he
die.
throws a Leviathan, and then all of a sudden the alien like starts laughing at him and kills him before the Leviathan's able to come back.
No way. He could throw down, dude. He would throw.
Oh,
he could-
I would doubt. I would love to see him just rip down the.
Oh
bed.
yeah, he would clean them out. I have no ifs, ands, or buts. He's fought much scarier monsters than the aliens.
Fair.
I'd bring Joel from The Last of Us, and he'd probably be the one to die.
Yeah, you doing that out of spite, but continue.
He'd take out maybe one on the way. He'd be good
Right.
for like finding some stuff, scurrying around like a little rat. Kind of,
Wow.
and for some extra muscle, I'd bring Abby from The Last of Us Part 2 because I think
Oh.
she could do a lot more damage and be much more useful than Joel.
Oh my god.
You know what? Instead of Joel, I'll bring the horse from The Last of Us, which proved to be more useful in that situation.
Yes.
And even the horse would. I'm just kidding. I love Joel too, but I think Joel. I think Kratos, and as a third character, I'd bring Kat from Gravity Rush because I think the wrestling with gravity would be very handy to stop those aliens as they come at us. So I think those would be my 3.
That's good. Those are good answers. 2 of those were actually going to be mine, but I'm going to switch it up here. So I will
Horse from The
bring.
Last of Us. Did I take your answer?
So get this. Ellie's coming, but
Ellie's
she's
coming.
dying so that her life can finally mean something.
Wow. You people, man.
I will bring what was I gonna say? Spider-Man. That counts, right?
Oh, yeah,
That counts. Because I mean he's
Oh, yeah,
fought aliens
exclusive.
before. I think he has some
It's
experience.
only
right?
having an exclusive with a character and doing it properly. Continue.
Yeah, absolutely. And And Astrobot, because Astrobot would absolutely just slay all
And
of
he
these
could be what
xenomorphs.
he wants, right? Like Astrobot,
Yeah, exactly.
Brilliant.
He could be a xenomorph himself.
And
he
he's
or
our-
she. Astrobot is
Hey.
not a he or she.
That's right. They.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Or it, I guess.
Yeah. Or yeah.
They? It's gotta be they.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because sentience, Matt.
True.
Yeah, they
Right?
matter.
And also Astrobot is like from space. So like maybe
Right.
he could, like interface, they could
Yeah,
interface.
and that's
with
why I
the-
went with Ratchet.
Yeah.
I'm like the weapon.
Experience, right?
Ratchet's a good call. The Horse from Last of Us Part 2 also very good at piloting ships. Our next question comes from Sumit Roy. No, Nagachaka. Let's go to Nagachaka's next. What is the PlayStation generation crew hoping to see when it comes to PlayStation at Fan Expo? Perhaps a playable demo of Astrobot. Is PlayStation there?
So sad. As to my knowledge, PlayStation is not there.
Negative.
And I would think Rice would know. He would probably have a list. They're
he's
not there. I think Xbox is there, and I think that's
Yes.
it for games, right?
There's not a lot. There's not a lot.
So there you go. So what PlayStation?
Squishmallows are there though. Hey, we're dads. You get in that line.
That's what's up.
I will get in that line. I will.
If there was a playable demo, I would come back dressed up as a different person, like just
Many
to
times
stay on
over.
that. Yeah,
I'm actually
absolutely.
shocked them not being there with Astrobot. I'm actually shocked.
Yeah, that would be a great
understood
opportunity.
Spider-Man, because it's comics
Sure.
are there. I think it's a missed opportunity not being there with Astro.
I agree.
Mind you, their booth last year was broken half the time, so maybe that's.
I don't know.
That's also true. The actual like setup was cool, having Spidey
Yes.
Miles and like the New York looking alley, but like the effects were otherwise.
Mhm.
Sumit Roy at Black Wyver writes in with a couple questions saying, hope you all are well. You too, my friend. Questions for you. With Plucky Squire also dropping in September and for free on PS Plus Extra, will you be torn between that and Astrobots? And secondly, what are your expectations on both games' Metacritic rating? Have a great week ahead.
I'm gonna go with the meme. Why not both? I
Mhm.
think these are definitely like you can play both. I would think. Correct me if I'm wrong, Matt. Plucky Squire is probably going to be like a 6 to 8 hour game.
I would think so. I would feel like that's appropriate.
Yeah, I would think, and I think Astro we know is a longer one. So if they came out on the same day, I would probably play Plucky Squire first just to get it out of. And I don't mean this in a terrible way to get it out of the
Just
way.
play the
but
shorter one first. That's all.
yeah, so I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal to play these both.
I agree. I also think that while I also actually do think that they inhabit different spaces, with Astrobot being much more of a 3D platformer and Plucky Squire, at least in the first 4 chapters, much more of it taking place in the storybook, so it plays much more like Zelda. So while I think they both kind of occupy a family-friendly space, I actually do think that they're both different from one another in terms of how they play. Astrobot is one of those things that I feel like you'll keep coming back to. You'll probably go through, run through, find the hidden stuff, find the collectibles along the way. Plucky Squire, it's a pretty critical path. Like you're not straying too much from it. So I think playing both of these will be easy. Like I think like Plucky Squire could be like a fun weekend thing, and then Astro kind of be the main course. In terms of expectations on Metacritic ratings, I'm going to swing and say that Astro is going to land at a 90. I think it's going to do well.
Ooh.
And I
hope you are correct.
Yeah, I hope so too.
I think both of these games could go above 90. I think Plucky Squire will probably end up at around like an 85. I think it could be higher than that. I think it could be in the 90s. But in terms of like just my more conservative guesses, even though I'm kind of shooting higher with Astrobot, I'll say Astro at 90 and Squire at 85 would be.
My worry for Astro is we're going to see the console warring stuff happen again, where people go after a game.
I'm not worried about the. I'm talking about like the.
But no, we'll even have the certain outlets got a hold of Spider-Man and gave it a review, and we're all just like, "Are you kidding me? Like, we all know it's a very good game. Like, what? Like, if certain outlets that are centric into the one side, they seem for some reason think it's cool because they want the clicks to say the game isn't good, regardless whether it is or not. I'm not saying Astrobot's going to be the best game ever. Biased, I'm with Matt. It's like I said, it's my game of the year. But I think Plucky Squire could. Well, you've played it, so that's a little unfair. But I think
I think it could be high. I think I'm underselling.
Like I think it's
that score.
92, 93. Like it's
It very
gonna
well
be
could be.
high.
It very well. My personal rating would be higher based off what I played, but
Okay.
we'll see.
Well,
Rice,
that's
what do you
what
think?
from the previews I saw. Everybody's like,
Yeah, I think I want Astro to be in those high numbers. I'm reluctant to say that it's like going to be. But yeah, I don't know. Let's see how the sales go. I want it to do that well. I really want it to do that well. But I think that it will land a little bit lower than that. What was the second part of the question?
Finding time for both.
Okay, yeah. Okay. I play multiple games all the time at once. That's why we have multiple screens in these rooms, guys. And handhelds and all of these things. Multitasking and feet. No, I actually have a camera for my feet. That's for the spicy site.
dude, you should just do it and see how much money you make.
I'm really curious, bro. There's someone out there that'll
Eat
pay.
in rice. I'm telling you, there's a lot of people that pay for that.
There's a market, bro.
Yep.
Like think about the ASMR crowd plus the feet people. You could capture both with the noise of your feet going in the rice.
Dude, if you played Elden Ring using your feet and then use that as content,
absolutely,
that's
and
money.
record high quality audio, guys.
I'm saying,
squishy, crunchy.
Ooh,
What do you want?
Yeah, both. Start crunchy, go squishy as time goes on.
Right. One month I'll focus just on fried rice.
If we could do a picture for our podcast version of this, it should just be Rice's feet in rice.
Yep. Done.
Like it. Just to give you an idea, Astrobot Rescue Mission, so the first one, the VR one, scored a 90. Astro's Playroom, which is the free pack-in, was at an 83. So
which is embarrassing considering how good that game was.
At the lowest it scored was sevens at some outlets. And that's just because they felt like I don't know why I didn't read them.
The free packing game wouldn't add value.
Could be. So I'm curious to see what this looks like.
What outlets gave it a 7? Go through. Let's find out. Let's shame these people.
Hold on. I mean, this is public stuff. So
that's going wild about my feet,
as they need to. Also,
Yarden wants
Yarden question. Plucky Squire, Zelda first. Plucky Squire. I think it will be shorter than Zelda.
Yeah, you're spending a lot of time on Zelda.
And I think it's like much earlier than Zelda too. So I think you'll be able to get through. Like Plucky Squire will be a good warm up for Zelda.
That's why I think I would do that game first.
Right.
Plucky's hold on. Astrobot. The sevens came from Edge Magazine, Multiplayer.it, Game Rant, Gamer.no, Metro Game Central, Destructoid, and Spazio Games.
So I know 2 of those outlets.
Anyways.
So Game Rant, eh? Losers.
I'll
say it. I don't care. They're losers.
ASMR plus feet plus Elden Ring equals.
I'm telling you, man. They got the money. Rice. Your wife would be so happy with
Denny,
you.
I regret having fried rice for lunch now. You regret not getting some of that extra seasoning.
Denny had fried
some
rice.
Of that extra seasoning.
Just think about Denny. Let Rice come over when we at Fan Expo because Denny will be there too, and we can just have Rice put his feet in your rice.
Yeah, Plucky Squire is 9 days before Zelda. That's enough time.
Yeah,
that's enough time to get it done.
I think you could do Plucky Squire in 2 days.
Easy.
Yeah, I think so. Moving on to our next question from Gamergram at GTM618. If you could play any role in any movie, what movie and role would you play? So I'm gonna augment this a little bit. Let's say video game movies.
Okay.
To stay on theme here.
Okay.
If you could play any video game character in any, and I'm saying existing movies, so you can't like.
Oh, I can't make.
No. Yeah, I'm saying like let's say.
Can I make the movie better because the first time it came out sucked?
That you're playing a character in that movie. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
No. Well, there's not many video game movies.
I would be Sully in Uncharted because I think I could do a better job than Mark Wahlberg.
No, it's not possible, dude. The man is a genius. He's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful man. He just happens to use a Boston accent in every single role he has, regardless whether that person's from Boston or not. And he says, "Say hello to your mother for you" a lot. Like I don't understand the man.
I think I could do a better job than Mark Wahlberg, and I'm not an actor.
I was gonna tell you could definitely do a better job than Tom Holland as Spider-Man because he's terrible.
Yeah, you could be a good Peter.
Yeah, like Tom
I would
Holland.
take that.
I know it's a hot take, but Tom Holland is terrible.
That is definitely a hot take.
Yeah, he's not good.
It is a hot
Andrew
take.
Garfield was better. It's just, these are facts.
Andrew Garfield is my favorite, but Tom Holland is really good.
He's probably the most
Tom Holland
accurate
is a
Peter.
very good young Peter Parker. He is not a good Spider-Man. There is a big difference there.
Yeah,
Teenage
yeah.
Spider-Man.
I would agree.
I think Teenage Spider-Man. He's exactly what that character is. But anyways,
that's a whole other podcast.
I would love the Assassin's Creed movie to be good. So I would love to be in that, but I would need to, like I said, I would need to change the script because less time outside of the Animus, more time in the Animus.
Woo, I need to see Court in a full friggin' Assassin's cosplay.
Yeah, like
I might not ever get that, but
and I need to do that.
Yeah, that's sexy right there.
Creed 2, and I need it to be a movie.
I need Court Ezio. That's what I want.
Yeah, we all do. Like, it would be that movie. It is so frustrating when that movie came out, and as a huge Assassin's Creed fan, I went on day one and I watched that. Halfway through the movie, I'm like, I need to leave because this is an Assassin's Creed movie. This is the Matrix that for some reason they kept going into Assassin's Creed in the Matrix. Every time they plug in the Matrix, they were Assassin's Creed because that's the movie they made.
Rice, let me ask you a question as the fighting game expert.
Yeah.
What fighting game character that was in a movie does a lot of kicking?
Chun-Li.
In a movie, in a movie that already exists.
Yeah.
Does it have to be a live action one?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, it does not.
Let's say yes.
No. Oh, Matt has a specific character. All right.
No, I'm just wondering.
Well, Chun-Li would be great.
I think that has to be your answer.
It would be an amazing gender swap. I was thinking of a few different things.
No boots, so we can see the feet.
That's what I'm saying. Keep the costumes. Keep the costume.
That's it. Yeah.
Use the boots. Do some open toe goodness, and then that's
the only attire is banana leaf skirt. That's it. Everything else, you know what I mean?
That would be perfect.
Yep. Barefoot, you know.
So
and then when I win, I jump into a bucket of rice.
Yeah.
And then just
Oh, the ASMR would be on point. But what would your real answer be?
I was gonna say I could be a Filipino Genki or Ned.
I think you'd be a better Guile than Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Oh, Guile? Yeah, I can give me that hairstyle.
You have the hair game. You could do the hair.
I was thinking about that too. So that's a good one as well. I would also be in a Tekken movie.
Can we go back to how Street Fighter decided that Guile was going to be the main character when he was really more of a side character in the Street Fighter lore, and Ken and Ryu were the main characters, and we were just like, whatever with Ken and Ryu makes no sense. Can we be honest here?
But Van Damme,
and they had a French guy be an American soldier.
That's true.
Man, the 90s, wild times, man.
The 90s was the Wild West.
Once again, also he became an American soldier with a extremely French accent.
Also, give me Ellie's role. I would bring. That's not really a movie, I guess. That's a show.
We can count it.
Yeah,
HBO basically makes movies.
But yeah,
they do. They just make them better.
Real good.
I would be funnier, but still dark.
I think I could see that. I could see that.
Yeah.
There are a few ways to make The Last of Us Part 2 better. I think you as Ellie would actually make it better.
Absolutely.
And
100%. Or just not make the game, but continue.
Whoa.
The Last of Us Part 1. You want it unmade? That's a little harsh, dude. Denny Kuhn at Deniru G writes in for our final question saying, between Red Dead Redemption and The Last of Us, which game would PlayStation generation like to see a part 3 of first?
The Last of Us. Spoiler alert, I did not like Red Dead Redemption 2. I thought that game I promised Matt that I would play it again. I have until the end of the year, and I haven't done it yet because Matt's like, give it another try. I got it on day one. I wanted to find a shotgun and kill my horse so quickly because that horse just the amount of times I had to feed it, groom it, and all that, and was like, I don't need to do this. It is a video game.
Right.
Take that. If you took that out of the game, because the opening cinematics were like Crazy 8 from Tarantino, like unbelievable. And then all of a sudden I had this horse mechanic came in and it was like, oh, in your first mission, it's like 25 minutes gallop away. Are you kidding me?
Red Dead Redemption 2, I don't think it's a court game.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it. I loved it.
Yet it should be, right? It should be.
They went they went in a deeper sim
Yeah,
field that I think you care for when it
Correct.
comes to gameplay.
for the immersion,
Mm.
and it was, and that's what it did.
Take the
It did.
it's that. Yet in Grand Theft Auto, they don't make you put gas in the car. Like, please don't do that.
Hey, we don't know enough about 6 yet.
If they oh my god, I almost swore. Like, if they do that,
Listen. I totally understand the sentiment though, because like I can't be like feeding or grooming my horse when I have to feed a child or
yeah, I just don't have time
just
for
be a
that
family
garbage,
man.
man.
Yeah, no, it's just there's the
Like,
time. Yeah,
even if they put it in GTA, I know the game will be on PC, and some amazing human being will patch it out. So,
Jordan says Court hates animals. Confirmed.
dude, Court has 2 cats, but he wanted to definitely take a shotgun to that horse's head and make it go away. Like, I wanted to I kept looking in caves, seeing if I could find the DeLorean where Marty McFly hid it in the Old West, so I could just get a car, okay, and just get this over with.
Court does kill cats though,
No,
if you
he
know what
doesn't.
I mean.
I like cat games, but I'm not gonna lie. In some games where there's dogs, I'll probably shoot the dog.
You monster.
I'm definitely a monster.
How
I
could
hate
you?
dogs. Like, it is well known. I am not a dog person. I find them to just be another child. I already have one. Get out of my life, dogs. And then you
Cats-
have dog people that they're like, hey, can I come over? Yeah, sure. Can I bring my dog? But no, you can't bring
Nope.
your dog. Your dog is not an appendage of you. Leave the thing at home. You chose to have that dog. Don't bring it into my life. I don't need that dog. The amount of dog people that are like so uppity about their dogs. No offense, Matt. I love you. But
I'm
it's
gonna
just like
bring my
people,
dog. I'm gonna
man,
bring my dog on Friday.
they are
I'm
a
gonna bring my
whole,
dog on Friday.
they are a whole different breed of people.
I'm
Of
gonna-
just like
I'm
you go to the grocery store, they have their dog. They're driving around, they have their dog. Just leave
This-
the dog at home.
This is the
Leave the
episode
dog
that
at
gets
home.
us canceled.
I don't care, dude. How about this one? Listen to this one. Tell me if I'm wrong here. So my daughter, when she was in daycare and she was younger, some person walked up while the kids were in the pen, opened the gate, and put a Rottweiler in there and closed the gate and walked away.
See, that's not okay.
Hold on. Let me
That's
finish.
insane.
Hey, thank you. So they called the cops. Dog died.
I
They don't
mean,
mess around. Dog went
sure,
after
you
the
have to-
kids.
yeah, you have-
Instantly went after the kids, people at the daycare, put all the things in. I'm on there's a Facebook group, and there was a whole thing about people, how dare the cops put the dog down. So I chimed in. I was like, hey, my kid was in that pen. If I was there, I would have curb stopped that dog in like a second. Like, I wouldn't even have thought twice. Goes near my cow. I would have done everything in the world to kill said dog. And the person, I got banned from this Facebook group. It was like a community Facebook group. I'm like, are you kidding me? We are at this point in society where we have decided that a dog that was attacking young children is more important than said the children. That's how crazy people are about dogs.
Listen.
That's why dog people, and it's been since this, drive me insane.
I when it comes to if you have to protect a child, then you have to do what you have to do. That,
You
like,
kill the dog. You put it
100%.
down. Just like if you're driving a car, don't swerve. You lean into it. You just keep driving. The dog's in the way. I'm sorry. The dog's dead. Any
Court-
animal, you never swerve your car. I'm telling you.
Court Court does it and just goes plus 100, writes a little notepad on his.
It was
inside of
so
his car.
frustrating that day. Like, I was beyond anger. I was like beside myself. I'm like, how is this a thing where I'm the person in the wrong saying, are you people crazy for defending the dog over trying to attack the kids?
I'm so
Anyways.
sorry. I'm so sorry for laughing, Court. I just admire your passion.
What would you do if a dog came at your kid? What would you do? Because
don't
the
know.
cat's not coming after your kid. Let's be honest.
Yeah, they'll just come at them in their sleep.
Yeah,
Hey,
100%.
listen,
Cats
guys,
are
in the
vicious.
Philippines, they eat dogs. So, like,
He's not wrong.
Back to Denny's question.
Yeah.
Court said The Last of Us Part 3. Rice, which would you prefer between the two?
I think Last of Us. I think there's still some story to tell there. Not even necessarily from the characters that we know, but in the same vicinity or the same world. I think that I would enjoy that. That said, Red Dead Redemption 2 was an amazing experience. I don't know that I actually need a Red Dead Redemption 3. That's all I'm thinking about that. Because
Does the
2,
horse die at least in 2? Like, do we eventually get to kill this horse?
I mean, you can kill the horse multiple times.
Yeah, you get.
I need to play this game again. I will just do videos of like the satisfaction I get from shooting the horse.
What?
Animal violence was not a corner. I expected to turn today, but here we are. I don't disagree that I want either one of these, but I actually think I would rather have Red Dead 3. Only because
interesting.
I think the steps that they did with 2 over 1 were genuinely massive, and I'd be curious to see if they decided to revisit the well, what they could do to go from a 2 to a 3. And The Last of Us, again, we already have an incredible game and then a near perfect game. I think that like you don't need to. I don't know if we need another one on top of it.
Okay.
I'm sure they're doing one, and I'm sure Ellie's story will continue. I don't disagree, Rice. I'd be much more interested in The Last of Us, not focused on Joel and Ellie.
Yeah.
And I'd just be curious to see what that looks like.
Sure.
But I think like in terms of like overall gameplay, I'd be really curious to see what Rockstar does with the Red Dead 3. That brings us to the end of the show. Rice, if people want to see and hear more from you, where could they do so?
You can find me on onlydogs.com.
You're the one, literally the guy who's like, we eat them. He's like, when I asked Rice what he would do, he's like, well, we eat them. So your answer was worse than mine. You're just
this
like,
episode is
I would
crazy.
barbecue, I would fillet that thing.
This episode is crazy. I love animals, but you can find me on my Linktree, and I stream on Twitch at Rice BOYYY TV. Yeah, let's interact on socials. Let's hang out. I'm gonna be hitting the fall. I'll have you over for some food.
Did
I mention I'm vegan?
Perfect.
I actually have ate your mom's food. It is phenomenal. I'm gonna say.
Oh yeah,
that's
right. That's right. Yeah.
Phenomenal. I literally sat in that kitchen. I was just sitting there, and your sister walked in. She's like, "You okay?" I'm like, "No, I'm good. I'm just stuffed." I didn't leave that kitchen for a while.
That was actually a mix of cat and dog.
Oh well, it was good.
Yeah. So there you go, guys. You learn something new every day.
Court, where can people find you just besides the alley behind the Humane Society?
Ooh, what are we on today?
What does it even matter? Whatever, move on.
You can find Court Wednesdays at 3 Dads. You can find his words at Console Creatures, and you can find him all over the internet at Court Lalonde. You can find me over on X at Matt_SilverSoul, and of course, my words on Console Creatures and at BetWhy. And do not forget, we're giving away 5 pairs of tickets to the CNE in Toronto alongside an MSI Prestige 16 laptop Evo edition with an Intel Core Ultra and an Intel Core i9 14,900K CPU. Head on over to at Console Creatures on X and Instagram for more details on how you can win. Folks, we'll be back next week. Stay safe, be well, and just have fun out there. Peace.
Be nice to people.